comes from around the Persian Gulf and through the Strait of Hormuz. If the supply gets interrupted, oil prices might go up 3 times. And when the cost of energy goes up, the cost of everything goes up. Because in each and every good you consume, there is a trace of them. Therefore, we can somehow say it's the most precious and vital region on the entire earth. However, for political reasons, United States and Europe are mostly worried about possible blockage of the Strait of Hormuz, though in reality, most of the energy supply from it goes to the east of Asia, for countries like China and Japan. Therefore, no country on earth cannot rest peacefully if anything happens there. Now we're reaching the interesting part. Even if there is no conflict in this region, still navigating through this narrow strait is a danger itself. Because 8 islands are located on the way through the strait and all of them belong to Iran. So a pair of 2-mile shipping lanes are being drawn to help reduce the risk of any crash and accident. Now we know why big economies and military powers are always sensitive about this issue. And the main one, as you know, is United States. Washington has nearly 40 military bases and around 15,000 troops around the Persian Gulf. But there are 2 special places for Washington in this region. The Air Force Base in Qatar and US 5th Fleet in Bahrain. In these 2 special bases, there are nearly 26,000 US troops. And most of the time, at least one of US aircraft carriers is in the Persian Gulf or stationed near it. And here our story gets tense, because the presence of United States in this region and near Iranian borders is what Tehran doesn't like that much.
Handelen is niet voor iedereen, maar als u een handelaar bent, dan is Plus 500 de plek voor u. Met slechts een paar kliks kunt u een ongelimiteerde demorekening openen en ermee leren omgaan. Open uw gewenste positie in seconden en begin met het verhandelen van CFD's op de meest populaire aandelen, indexen, forex-paren, grondstoffen en nog veel meer. Wilt u niets missen? Stel gratis waarschuwingen in om alles bij te houden. En inzicht te krijgen op uw volgende transactie door middel van onze indicatorensectie. Zelfs onderweg behoudt u altijd de controle met onze mobiele apps. En als u klaar bent, kunt u echt het werk bekijken. En u aansluiten bij de velen die al voor Plus 500 hebben gekozen. Dus ga naar Plus 500 en maak uw eigen handelsrekening aan.
As these 2 countries have had unpleasant relations, to put it mildly, during past 4 decades, we have already seen dire incidents when Iran seized British and Greek oil tankers near the Strait of Hormuz because they seized Iranian oil tankers first. In both cases, they were forced to release Iranian oil tankers in order to get their tankers back. We have seen attacks on Israeli ships in the region. We have seen hunting of an American advanced drone, MQ-4 Global Hawk, which is considered to be the most precious drone in US, over the Strait of Hormuz by Iranian missiles in 2019.
President Trump saying today that the American people will soon find out if the United States is going to war with Iran, saying the regime made a very big mistake shooting down a US military surveillance drone like the one you see on your screen at 4:05 a.m. Iranian time over the Strait of Hormuz.
We have seen Iran threatening to invade US bases in the region.
Well, we don't have the location for this car, but we have the location for a car that's on the way to this car. Find them, tail them without being spotted, and get the vehicle. And, oh yeah, these are little soul gangsters we're talking about.
Er wordt al geld uitgetrokken om kinderen en jongeren uit de criminaliteit te houden. En dat moet
While the war between Russia and Ukraine is deeply affecting the whole world, the Black Sea is witnessing one of the biggest power struggles in recent days. A great power struggle is taking place on the Black Sea. Russia, which is a coast on the Black Sea, is on the verge of losing its dominance here. This means the biggest defeat Russia has ever suffered. Have you ever wondered why the Black Sea is so important for the Russians? Why do you think Russia wants to dominate the Black Sea? Let's examine it together. First, bring a map of Russia in front of your eyes. Russia has an area of more than 17 million square kilometers. In other words, Russia is the largest country in the world. On the other hand, the north and east of Russia are completely covered by oceans. But these ports cannot be used very actively. The reason is that Russia has a cold climate and there is a lot of frost in the winter months. Therefore, Russia cannot use these ports. The frosts make any sea transportation inadequate. On the other hand, Russia has two options to use its ports. The first is the Baltic Sea, and the second is the Black Sea. Without these, Russia cannot sail the seas. It would continue to exist as a landlocked country. Let us first examine the Baltic Sea. Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Germany, Poland, Russia, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania have ports in the Baltic Sea. Most of these countries are NATO members, but Russia, Sweden, and Finland are... Dit is een switchfiets. Dus elke fiets kan een switchfiets zijn. En dan bedoelen we echt elke fiets. Het enige wat je nodig hebt is een switchfiets. Het is superlicht, compact, het past op de stuur en het geeft je een boost met elektriciteit. Which is your bike electric. For the speed, for the hills, the power, and for the adventure. Hallo, mijn naam is Jordan. Bij Switch houden we van elektrische fietsen. Met een switchkit op je fiets is alsof iemand anders voor jou fietst. Je weet nooit dat je altijd dit mee. En elke afstand is een fietsafstand. Dankzij Switch kan iedereen, overal, van elke fiets een e-bike maken. Dus, als je een fiets hebt en je wilt een elektrische fiets, Switch. Wat je ook denkt dat er gaat gebeuren aankomende winter, het wordt nog erger. De overheid heeft je bij de ballen en ze persen je helemaal mee. Inflatie, dalende huizenprijzen, stijgende voedselprijzen en energierekeningen. Jij moet iets doen en liever nog vandaag dan morgen, want als het in in elkaar stort, dan gaat het supersnel. Je ziet al een beetje de voorbode nu met de aandelen van Facebook en Amazon, die zomaar 20% kelderen omdat ze hun kwartaalcijfer van kwartaal 4 2022 Finland are not NATO countries, but Sweden and Finland want to become NATO countries. It is likely that Sweden and Finland will become NATO countries very soon. But there is a big detail here. In this case, the Baltic Sea will become a NATO sea. NATO will be able to conduct exercises here. It will be able to use this region as it wishes. In this case, Russia will not be able to use this region as it wishes. It will not be able to carry out any military activity here. If this scenario comes true, which is very likely...
Low battery. Please charge.
The Black Sea. The Black Sea will be the only sea that Russia can use and conduct military exercises in. But here again, there are some problems. Russia's fate in the Black Sea is not encouraging either. One of Russia's biggest goals in invading Ukraine was to dominate the Black Sea. If it invaded Ukraine, it would be able to get stronger with the Black Sea. So what does the invasion of Ukraine have to do with the Black Sea? This is an important question.
Low battery. Please charge.
One of the main reasons for the war. Russia is located in the northernmost part of the world. It needs the Black Sea to establish relations with the southern countries. And the Black Sea is located in Russia's industrial cities. Moreover, the Black Sea has a very large hinterland. Russian ships can use the Black Sea to reach Mediterranean countries, Africa, the Middle East, and the Indian continent. Of course, these are not the only countries. Russia also needs the Black Sea.
Low battery. Please charge.
With which Russia cooperates. But obstacles remain. There is one more obstacle in front of Russia. To know this obstacle, let's make the map a little smaller. The only way out of the Black Sea is Turkey. This means that Russian ships have to pass through Turkish-controlled straits to reach the open sea. To reach the Mediterranean, Black Sea ships must first pass through the Bosphorus and then the Dardanelles. In the past, there were countless ports over the
Low battery. Please charge.
Russia found many roads to gain these straits. The last port was built during the First World War, but the Ottoman army, which was considered to be defeated, won this war by showing the last resistance. Russia failed to achieve its goal again. On the other hand, Russia and Turkey are constantly having problems over the use of these straits. Turkey, as a NATO member, is trying to stop Russia's invasive policies. Russia, on the other
Low battery. Please charge.
but this time it is facing a much bigger crisis. Russian warships have been fighting for months to pass through these straits. Not only that, Russia has been putting pressure on the Turkish government, but the Turkish Foreign Ministry will not allow it. It says that the ships will never be allowed to go to the Black Sea. After this incident, the Russian Defense Ministry confirmed that the Warrior and the Admiral Privilege is a much bigger group.
Low battery. Please charge.
On the Russian Pacific coast, this is a great success for Turkey against
Disconnected.
Because Turkey's actions prevented Russia from achieving success against Ukraine. Ukraine was thus not exposed to worse attacks. On the other hand, Russia's continental shelf in the Black Sea is quite narrow. The continental shelf is an important situation. For this reason, Russia cannot exert much pressure on Turkey.
Low battery.
One of Russia's
Please charge.
new cities here and expand its continental shelf. Of course, Russia has another goal. It is well known that there are oil and natural gas deposits in the Black Sea. The biggest proof of this is Turkey. Last year, Turkey carried out drilling activities in the Black Sea. As a result of these studies, it found natural gas under the sea. Russia, on the other hand, wants a wider continental shelf to utilize these natural resources. This is where
Low battery.
shines.
Please charge.
Crimea, which looks like an island, was annexed by Russia in 2014. Crimea has a very wide coast in the Black Sea and has many natural harbors. It is also one of the most critical points in the Black Sea. The country controlling Crimea means that its continental shelf in the Black Sea grows significantly. This makes Crimea a very important place. On the other hand, Ukraine's President Zelensky does not recognize the annexation of Crimea. He is determined to put an end to
Low
this
battery.
annexation attempt.
Please
This
charge.
started with Crimea and it will end in Crimea. Zelensky has made many plans to liberate Crimea. These plans were appreciated by the whole world. Ukraine won a great victory and liberated the Kherson region. Thus, the connection between Crimea and Russia was completely severed. Ukraine's next move was to blow up the Kerch Bridge connecting Crimea and Russia. This move significantly reduced Russian influence in Crimea. The Russian Navy is under constant attack.
Low
The
battery.
Navy was forced
Please
to
charge.
withdraw from Crimea. Ukrainian army operations in Crimea continue. According to the Russian appointed governor of Crimea, the Russian fleet shot down a Ukrainian drone over the Black Sea. However, Russia has not yet made a statement on its losses in this area. The Ukrainian military, however, says that 16 Russian Navy ships have been sunk. These have cost Russia dear. Suffered a lot of losses here. Russia is losing its position in the Black Sea day by day.
Low battery.
If the
Please
Ukrainian
charge.
army succeeds in liberating Crimea, Russia's entire power in the Black Sea will be destroyed. This is frightening for Russia. The Ukrainian army is preparing to give Russia another nightmare. If the Ukrainian army carries out these operations, it seems that all the balances in the Black Sea will change. If Ukraine, which aims to extract natural gas in the Black Sea, succeeds in this idea, all the trump cards in Russia's hands will disappear, because Russia's economy is based on natural gas.
Low battery.
Russia is
Please
constantly
charge.
threatening Europe in this regard. European countries are forced to trade with Russia to obtain energy. But if Ukraine succeeds in its plans, this would mean a new natural gas market. This would mean that Europe would start trading with Ukraine instead of Russia. With Ukraine's natural gas extraction, Europe could become less dependent on Russia. This would be a big blow to the Russian economy and the Russian state. If the Ukrainian army wins this war, it would mean bankrupt
Low battery.
Russia.
Power off.
Russia has already lost billions of dollars because of the war. Many people have revolted because of these losses. Putin and the Russian leadership are under pressure every day. With this, Ukraine has spoiled all Russia's plans. Russia, which claims to be one of the most powerful countries in the world, is on the verge of extinction as a result of Zelensky's moves. This is about to go down in history as one of the biggest events in Russian history. What do you think about the big fights in the Black Sea? Do you think the Ukrainian army will be able to liberate Crimea? How will the liberation of Crimea affect the balance in the Black Sea? What are your predictions for the future of Crimea? Share your opinions with us. Follow us for more updates.
Nee, je moet zelf de slingers zo vangen. Hallo, ja, en lekker voordelig. Net als bij Lamara. Hij schiet en onbeperkt bellen. Hoeveel een tientje per maand? Lamara is hij wel niet. Doen. Nu 6 maanden 50% korting. Lamara is hij wel niet. Doen.
Oké, ik heb mijn allereerste 10.000 euro per maand verdiend. Vanaf mijn telefoon van, laten we zeggen, 300-400 euro. Kijk, een hele grote misvatting is tegenwoordig dat je een bedrijf moet starten om je eerste 10.000 tot 20.000 euro per maand te verdienen. Wat veel mensen vaak niet bedenken of niet weten is dat echt die eerste 5.000 tot 10.000 euro gaat zo onafhankelijk dat dat een skillset is. Een high income skill. Dat je daarmee ook de eerste stap kan gaan bereiken. Als je bijvoorbeeld een high income skill gaat leren die bijvoorbeeld elk bedrijf nodig heeft, dan ga je zo 5.000 tot 10.000 euro per maand zitten. Ik hoor je van denken, ja, wat is nou zo'n high income skill? Hoe kan ik dat eens leren? Nou, een van die high income skill is dus bijvoorbeeld appointment setting. Simpel door het versturen van berichten van achter je telefoon kun je al zo 5.000 tot 10.000 euro verdienen. Ik hoor je vast denken, ja, wat is appointment setting precies en hoe kan ik het ook leren? En geen zorgen, ik stond ook exact in je schoenen, maar ik zou zeggen, geef het even een kans. Wellicht kan dit een keer wel je hele leven veranderen, helemaal op zijn kop zetten, dat je wel een keer die vrijheid haalt, wel een keer je financiële doelen haalt. Ik ben nou nieuwsgierig wat appointment setting is en wat dat voor jou kan betekenen. Ik heb iets leuks gemaakt. We gaan met een uniek klein groepje mee helpen om de art of appointment setting te leren. Alles methodes uitleggen, alle strategieën, al.
Dus